Those who are secularists in this life would say that there are many included in the family of God and that there are many paths to the same source. Is that what the word says? Hi, this is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute Torah, day number 2, the Torah portion via key. Let's go to Bereshit or Genesis chapter 48 and begin reading with verse number 1. And after these events it came to be that it was said to Joseph, See, your father is sick, and he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And Yaakov was told, See, your son Joseph is coming to you, and Israel strengthened himself and sat up on the bed. Yaakov said to Joseph, El Shaddai appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. And said to me, See, I am making you fruitful, and shall increase you, and make you an assembly of peoples, and give this land to your seed after you as an everlasting possession. And now your 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you in the land of Mitzrayim, before I came to you in Mitzrayim, are mine, as Reuben and Shimon, they are mine. Now is Yaakov being presumptuous here and laying claim to Joseph's own 2 sons? What's taking place? First of all, it says that Israel strengthened himself and sat up on the bed. So we're speaking now of the spiritual component, the covenant entity of the man. He's strengthening himself to set up, and he's remembering that the event that took place all the way back in chapter 28, where it says in verse 16, And Yaakov woke from his sleep and said, Truly Yahweh is in this place, and I did not know it. And he said, he was afraid, how awesome is this place? There's none other than the house of Elohim. This is the gate of the heavens. And it says that he called the name of that place Bethel. However, the name of that city had been previously Luz. Yah had introduced himself to the patriarchs as El Shaddai. He is remembering the one who is the source of all consistent, constant, faithful provision, the one who is the nurturing one, the many-breasted one, that is the one that has the ability to nurture a multitude, the one who is capable to see to it. And he says, El Shaddai says to me, at Bethel, he's remembering it as Luz, but it's Bethel. This is the house of Elohim. And he's remembering the covenant promise that Yaakov would become a company of people, an assembly of peoples. Now, how is that to happen? If each generation only selects one son to be the heir, and then that one son of each generation receives the Bekira, the blessing of the land and the continuance of the seed, then it's never going to become a company of peoples. It's going to be one select individual each generation. However, with Yaakov, things change, and it is the entire family that is selected, as we shall see in this portion. However, there is still the Bekora, the double portion, firstborn blessing. And here we see Yaakov laying hold of the 2 sons of Joseph, Ephraim and Manasseh. Now earlier it just says that he brought Manasseh and Ephraim to him. When Yaakov references them, he puts Ephraim first. Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you, they're now mine, even as Reuben and Shimon are mine. Reuben and Shimon are the 2 oldest. So he's not only bringing in and adopting the sons of Joseph, he is elevating them to first and second born status. He's raising them up. So we have this activity of adoption. When we were sitting in our Bible study classes, Sunday school rooms, listening to pulpit sermons, we may have heard religious terms being thrown around like regeneration, redemption, justification, the new birth, salvation, of course. There was a term that was also used as in the idea of spiritual adoption. What are we talking about? What does it mean to be adopted? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. In the book of Romans, chapter number 8, one of my favorite chapters, in verse 13 and following, it says, "For if you live according to the flesh, you are going to die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, you shall live." Verse 14, "For as many as are led by the Spirit of Elohim, these are the sons of Elohim." Habene Elohim. These are the sons of Elohim. What is the Spirit? It is the Spirit of Yeshua. The Spirit of Elohim is the same Spirit that resides in Yeshua. The same Spirit that Yeshua said that he would give to us. Then it says in verse 15, "For you did not receive the spirit of bondage again to fear." You're not a slave. You're not in servitude. Your relationship with your Heavenly Father is not one of being coerced, and it's not one of browbeating, and it's not one of condemnation, but rather, he says, you have received the spirit of adoption, by whom we cry out, Abba, Father. When we are adopted, we are brought into the family as if we were born by blood into that family. We are given equal seating at the Father's table. There's not a chair reserved for those who came by some other means than by blood. But indeed, we have been adopted by blood, that is through the shed blood of Messiah Yeshua. He says then in verse 16 and following, "For the Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of Elohim, and if children, also heirs, truly heirs of Elohim." That is, that we're so included in the family, we share in the family estate. When the parts of the estate are parceled out, we are included in receiving our portion. Equal portions, it says, as we are co-heirs with Messiah, if indeed we suffer with him, in order that we may be exalted together. Now here's the rub. When we are included in the family, we bear the life, the characteristics, the name, the quality, the future of the family. We also share in its past, even if we were not a part of it, because that legacy is what we have been adopted into. Visually, this idea is further enhanced in Romans chapter 11, where Rav Shaul begins to talk about how there is this grafting in process. The olive tree of Israel, where branches that were of the wild olive trees, contrary in nature to the olive tree of Israel, the covenant family, we were cut off and then grafted in. A place was made, a cutting was made. Consider the riven side, the pierced side of Yeshua. A cutting was made where you and I were grafted in to his side, in effect up under his rib next to his heart. And there, as the wound heals and continues to pull in the fiber of that grafted in branch, we become one in him. So much so that when he receives the fulfillment of the covenant, that is, he is the seed that is promised, and he does receive the land, we receive portions with him. How is that even possible? That just like Ephraim and Manasseh were adopted and brought in and included among the brothers, the two of them, being the sons of Joseph, they give Joseph then the effect of the Bekorah, the double portion firstborn blessing. Joseph's single house becomes two. And Yah wants us to know, I am doubly blessing you for leaving that which you were born into naturally, even against your nature, and choosing to be a part with me. I will greatly bless you for choosing that. You made the right choice. Walk in it today, and we'll see you tomorrow. To then, shalom.